Devasana. So, Hare Krishna, dear viewers, I'd like to seek the blessings of Shri Shri Radha Madhav, Radha Shyam Sundar Krishna Balaram, Gonita, Shri Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees, so that we can basically get the Yuga Dharma for this age is chanting the holy names. And it's important that we get the chanting of the holy names correct, in the right mood, so that we can get the maximum benefit for this wonderful opportunity that the Lord has given us. So what is the holy name? Actually, it's the same as God. Is non-different from the Lord himself. And this is one of the verses in the Padma Purana. You want to do this as well?
Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Sudho Nitya Mukto Abhinatvam Namino. The holy name of Krishna is transcendently blissful. It bestows all spiritual benedictions, for it is Krishna himself, the reservoir of all pleasure. Krishna's name is complete, and it is the form of all transcendental mellows. It is not a material name under any condition. It is no less powerful than Krishna himself. Since Krishna's name is not contaminated by the material qualities, there is no question of its being involved with Maya. Krishna's name is always liberated and spiritual. It is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. This is because the name of Krishna and Krishna himself are identical. So this is from the Padma Purana.
Very powerful verse. So the holy name of Krishna is Krishna himself. The name of Krishna and Krishna himself are identical. This is because Krishna is spiritual, but his name is also spiritual. His name is, in one sense, independent of himself, because it itself can bestow all spiritual benedictions. And itself is complete. So this name is very powerful. When we chant the holy names, we're tapping into the most amazing energy, spiritual energy. The Lord has invested all of his energies into these holy names. And there's a verse for that as well. Nam namakari bahuda nija sharva saktis tatrapita niyamitas marimena kale tara, something like that anyway. Basically, Krishna is saying in the second verse of the Shishtastakam, I have invested, or Krishna has invested all of his energies into his holy names. So it's very powerful. Nam namakari bahuda sarva shaktis. Nam namakari bahuda sarva shaktis. Sarva shaktis means all his energies. Nam nam bahuda. Everything is in his holy names. His most popular possession is his holy name. And he gifts it to us through the spiritual master. So the holy name is Krishna's most valued possession because it's non-different from him. And he gives it to us. His holy names are given to us through the spiritual master. Why does he do that? Because God values us. He wants us back with him in his spiritual world. And so he's willing to give us his most valued possession. Because he's missing us. He wants us back in the spiritual kingdom. And the holy name is more powerful than God himself. This is one of the most amazing things about the Lord. He gives more power to others, and his holy name is more powerful than he is. And there are a few examples. We may be able to go through them later on, what these examples are. So what is a Maha mantra? This is the mantra that we chant a lot. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And the meaning of the mantra and other mantras, Om. So the meaning of the mantra is we are basically saying to God, please let me do something for you. You do something so much for us. You give us the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat. Now let us do something for you. So this prayer is, please engage me in your service. There's no need for any other mantras. This mantra is enough to take us back to the spiritual world. There are other mantras, Gayatri mantra, the Purusha Shukta, there's the Brahma Samhita, there's so many mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So many mantras. But all we need is the Maha mantra. It's enough. And there's also Om, which also represents the Supreme Lord. This Maha mantra is the personification of Om. Very powerful. So what's the purpose of chanting? The main purpose is to please Krishna, to make him happy. If we can please Krishna, then our life is successful. By chanting, we are also worshipping Krishna, Radha and Krishna, because this mantra is not just Krishna, it's Radha is in there as well. And by chanting, we're mending a broken relationship. It's broken because we've forgotten God. He hasn't forgotten us. We've forgotten him. So we broke it. And we can also mend it by his mercy. And one of the ways to mend it is by chanting his holy names. And if we do good chanting, good japa, it has many effects. And the Shishtastakam verse number 1, Cheto Dapanam Majanam, Bahadavagninivapanam, Shreyo Kairavya Chandikam Dharanam, Vidyavadu Jeevanam, Anandam Buddhivatanam, Patipatam Purnapatasvadanam, Sarvatras Param Vijay, Sarvatras Sarva Param Vijay, Shri Bhagwan Sank, Shri Nam Sankirtanam, something like that. It cleanses the heart, it extinguishes repeated birth and death. It's the primary benediction for humanity. It spreads the ray of the benedictory moon, the life of all transcendental knowledge, increases the ocean of transcendental bliss. It enables us to fully taste the nectar. So these are effects of chanting. The main one is cleanses the heart, because our hearts are full of rubbish, accumulated over repeated births and deaths. But what this chanting of the holy name does, it cleanses the heart of the impurities that are in it. And it gives us the opportunity to become close to the Supreme Lord. It also awakens our love for God. It's the foundational basis of Bhakti Yoga. It equips us to deal with life's challenges. There's so many challenges in this world. And sometimes we can get a little bit overawed by those challenges. But when we understand that God is always with us, especially in the form of his holy names, we don't have to worry because he's there. Nothing can happen to us which is not good for us. The Lord is always looking after us. Even we may think that this is not a good thing, but actually it's in our favor. The Lord won't do anything which is not good for us. So we have to have that faith that whatever is happening in our life is for our own good. It also gives us peace within ourselves. and peace with the world as well. So where are we now with our chanting? If we continue with chanting as we are now, will we make progress? Will we remain at the same place? Or are we going backwards? There's three types of chanting. Chanting offensively, not in a nice way. Chanting namabhas. Namabhas is where we're chanting okay. We're making mistakes, but it's still not offensive chanting. And then there's Shuddhana, pure chanting. We want to reach pure chanting. We shouldn't be chanting offensively. And at least at the level of chanting at the clearing stage, we are still on the way back, on the right direction. There are 10 offenses to avoid when we chant. So this is the offensive chanting. If we backbiting against devotees, that's not good. If we consider the names of Shiva and Brahma to be equal to Vishnu, that's not good, because Vishnu's name is totally independent, it's totally different, it's totally transcendental. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master is not good. To blaspheme the Vedic literatures is not good. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination, not good. To give some interpretation to the holy name. This holy name, it means this. No, no, no. Holy name is Krishna himself. To commit sin on the strength of chanting the holy names. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. That's not good either. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. So all of these things are actually considered to be offenses against the chanting of the holy names. It's also considered to be an offense to be inattentive while chanting. And every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must very carefully guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prem. This third verse of the Shikshastakam is very important. Trishinadapi sunichena tarorapi saisuna manina manadina kitani salari. One should chant the holy names of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. So this is powerful. So how do we chant? How should we chant? Should find that sacred space. We should understand that if we don't chant properly, it is our loss. And it's a great loss. It's in fact the greatest loss. It's almost worse than being a karmi, because we know chanting is important and we're not doing it properly. Because the Lord agrees to spend 2 hours at least with us every day. Are we in that conversation with him? Or are we lost? What a shame. Is it just a numbers game? I have to do 16 rounds. I have to get my rounds done. Is that our mood? Have to get the 16 rounds. It's just a numbers game. It's important to chant good quality rounds. It's our opportunity. So there's the external sacred space. Sit properly. Find a suitable place to chant without interruption. Prepare the day before. To go to work, we prepare the day before. I have to get up at this time, that time, make my breakfast, eat, get the train. We plan it out. So in the same way, plan the chanting. That shows you are serious about the chanting. What's our lifestyle like? Do we sleep late so we can't get up early to chant? That's not conducive to having a good external sacred place. Pronounce carefully. When we're chanting, we pronounce nicely. Not we don't know what we're saying. Krishna doesn't know what we're saying. Wasted time. Feel the vibration and control the breathing. That's a good thing to do. Control the breathing will help us chant it better. Show Krishna we want to chant better. We want to improve. Krishna will help us improve. External practices can help, but also we have to be careful. They can get in the way as well. And the example is the Brahmins in Krishna Lila. The Brahmins were very fixed in doing the Vedic sacrifices. But when the person for whom all the sacrifices are done is standing in front of you and you ignore him, like the Brahmins ignored him, then it shows that the external practices may not always be helpful. So, and then find this internal space. And we can do many ways. We can listen to Srila Prabhupada chanting at the same time we're chanting. That's a nice way to chant. We can close all the switches off, material life off temporarily. So we can say to ourselves, okay, work, switching it off. Cooking, switching it off. Housework, switching it off. We switch it all off in our mind so that we can focus on the chanting. Get the internal mood right. We're praying. We're praying to the Lord. Please, don't throw me away. Let me become close to you. I am part of your family. Let me serve you. Let me do something for you. This is the mood. We're begging for service. Please allow me to serve you, serve your devotees. We want to become purified, better than we are. And we want to feel dependent. Without you, I can't do anything. If your mercy isn't there, I'm useless. And have this mood of gratitude. Thank you, my dear Lord, allowing me to chant and beg for his mercy. That's one thing which is very important. Beg, beg, beg. We're beggars for Krishna's mercy. When you chant, chant. Don't do anything else. Make a vow. I make a vow that I will chant at least one mantra properly. Effects of good chanting: one feels happy, ecstatic, blissful, feels the presence of Krishna, is absorbed, loses count of rounds, can deal with challenges of life, and is disappointed to finish. Oh, okay, I'll carry on chanting. Chant more, chant more. That's a good effect of chanting. So what's the other side? The dead japa zone, as it's called. The mood is, I have to chant my rounds. I really don't want to chant, but you know what? I've got to chant my rounds. That's not good. Not a good attitude. And there's a relief. Thank God, finished chanting. I can now do the hell what I want. Driven by numbers of rounds, not feelings. Tolerate, I'm going to tolerate Krishna. I chant his holy name, I tolerate him for 2 hours. Mechanical chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, and doing something else maybe at the same time. There's an example of, in Japan, there's a temple you can visit where you give your bhog to a robot and the robot will go and offer it to the deity. So, mechanical. That's not what we want. Distraction due to boredom, doing other things, watching TV while chanting, reading a book while chanting. Danger zone. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to say, if not chanting for seva then purification, then chanting a mic mantra. It's not real Maha mantra. Something else you're chanting. If we're texting or WhatsApp or Facebook while chanting or gossiping while chanting, sometimes we do a to-do list while we're chanting. I got to do this, I got to do that. So we're chanting away, we're thinking about everything else. And sometimes we do machine gun chanting. I got 5 minutes and I'm going to finish my rounds, all 16 rounds in 5 minutes. Chanting while driving, not good. Inattentive chanting. Asking for material things. I have to get this job tomorrow, Krishna, so I'm going to chant. That's not good. Japa walk means a sightseeing walk. Let's do a japa walk. Oh, that's a nice building. Oh, that's a beautiful girl. Oh, that's nice parrots there. Sleep dive bomb japa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama Rama. Not good. Shows Krishna we're bored of him. The holy name is very dynamic. Krishna is dynamic. But the holy name is even more dynamic than Krishna. So we can actually pay attention to the holy name. Now, this is a quite nice joke. Oluf, are you good at multitasking services? Well, I can chant and sleep at the same time. Multitasking. And sometimes we have an, yes, Bhavin.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji, and all the devotees. Just a quick question. As you said that when you're doing gossiping and you're doing machine gun and you're driving and sightseeing, sleeping and everything, and you can't chant, that is not very good. But what about when they said that you can, even you're doing your house, I mean, there's a bhajan there that, I don't know, halta ne chalta tame, suta ne besta tame ram nam bolo. You know, there's a bhajan there.
That's good.
So if you're, suppose I'm cooking, but in my mind, I'm still thinking Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, or Ram, Ram, Ram.
Very good.
So is it the same thing as you are saying now?
No, that's different. That's different.
But
when
chanting...
when you're doing your household duties and you're still remembering God, that's very good. But I am talking about Amechane Diksha Lidiche. So we have made a promise that we will do 16 mala every day.
Yes.
Now, those 16 mala, you can't do while you're doing household work. Those 16 mala, you sit down or you just walking in your house or the temple, then you chant those 16 rounds. But whilst you're not chanting, whilst you're not chanting and you're doing your housework, yes, Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya, that's really good. Chanting, singing, remembering God, very, very good. But when
even,
we have mala,
carry on.
When we have to do mala, then we sit down and do mala properly.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but as you said that when you've done the diksha, then you have to do the... If I'm doing my normal mala in the morning, I do it every morning. Every time I'm doing mala, but my mind is not still. I try, go away all the bad things. But it still keeps coming there.
Yeah.
And I fight with it, but I can't do it like really steady or sit down and chant.
But this is very good what you just said. If you are fighting the mind, hey, I know you are going somewhere, but come back. That's very good.
Yes,
Very good.
thank
Very
you.
good. That
Anyway,
shows you are making a good effort.
yes, I am. I'm trying
Yeah.
my best.
Yeah.
Thank
No, that's
you.
really good. Really good. Really good. See, most people don't even realize the mind is taking them away. They don't even realize.
Even sometimes, even a friend calls me and start
Hmm.
talking about some people. I said, I think I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think if we talk something else, it's better. Otherwise, I put my phone down because I really don't like it.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah. Gossiping is
Yeah.
one of our biggest, enjoyments.
But
it's not good.
people want to do it, but I'm not interested in it.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not.
It's not good,
We
not
should
good.
be so busy. We haven't got time to think about anybody else. I mean,
That's right.
in a negative way, we're so
Negative, yeah.
busy. We got too much on our plates to
Oh.
think about somebody in a bad way.
Yes.
Yeah.
If somebody is talking about somebody else, I said, better not to talk. Otherwise, we are doing the karma of them
that's
and
right.
myself. So I don't want to talk. I always say like that.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
that's
they
good.
change the subject.
Change the subject. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
very
you
good.
very much.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this subject. Thank you. Carry on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is, sometimes we chant, we've had an argument with somebody and we're chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And, we convince ourselves, yes, I am absolutely right. And that's one of what the chanting does. It actually will reinforce that, if we're not careful, So we take all the arguments out of our head, whatever has happened with somebody else. We don't, you just try to have a very clear mind when you are chanting. So what are the effects of bad chanting? Well, we start negatively, it ends negatively. Today is bad chanting day. And I am going to expect the same tomorrow. It is a downward spiral. We can't improve, we're just going to keep going down. We can't feel the presence of Krishna. And it's like shooting blanks, we have a gun and we're shooting, but there's nothing coming, there's no noise, there's no effect, shooting blanks. How do we get out of this horrible area? Beg Krishna for a relationship with him. Please help me get out of this horrible dead japa zone. Let me chant with real feelings. And we can ride on the chariot of tears. There was this pastime of Draupadi. When Dushashan was undressing her, unrobing her, she was shouting to Govinda, Govinda, but she was holding on to the sari. And Krishna was listening in Dwarka with Satyabhama. Satyabhama was saying to Krishna, you can go now, help him, help her. Krishna said, no, it's too late. So Dushashan was still pulling the sari. And eventually, Draupadi, she released both hands. And she just surrendered to Krishna. Govinda. And then Govinda in Dwarka said, now I can go, because I can ride on the chariot of her tears. So when we chant with feeling and tears in our eyes, then Krishna takes note. He comes running. Chanting with advanced devotees, that helps a lot. So chanting with Prabhupada, make a resolve. Today, I will chant properly. Take a sankalpa, make a vow, get the mood right. Hear the holy name. That's the most important thing, hearing. If we hear what we're chanting, That is 90% of the battle. Just hear what we're chanting. Inattentive chanting is the root cause of all offenses. Now, offensive chanting needs an act, otherwise it's namabhas. Unless wanting to fulfill material desires, chanting in joking mood is namabhas, although inattentive chanting. So unless we want to have material desires, we're not chanting offensively. So we should have no material desires. Everything should be in the hands of Krishna. Then at least we're at this stage, namabhas. But don't be inattentive while chanting, because that's offensive. Get the mood right. We should set aside a time. Now it is time for me to do my favorite activity, chant japa. And we set that time aside. Nothing else can interfere with that time. That's very nice. That's we're showing Krishna we're serious. Our words and thoughts can shift our consciousness. I love to chant, so we can tell this to ourselves. I want to chant and I get to chant. It's a privilege, it's an honor to chant. So we can say this to ourselves, even if we don't mean it. I love to chant, I want to chant, I get to chant. Pray to feel Krishna's presence. You never get the opposite to what you meditate. If we meditate for this, we will get it. We won't get the opposite because we're begging for this. Have the self-belief and trust the holy name. Very important. I choose to make the rest of my life the best of my life. I choose. Just here. Buddha said, see what you're looking at. Look at, when you're looking at something, see what you're looking at. So when you're listening to something, hear what you're listening to. Chanting is not an intellectual exercise. We're not analyzing Krishna. It's a very simple activity. All we're doing is listening. Hearing leads to attentiveness. Hearing is good to start, but there also must be some feeling. When the child is calling out to the mother, Ma, she'll know this is a genuine cry, or she'll know he's just pretending. So we need to get that bit right. So Krishna knows we're not pretending. Engage the mind in hearing, but not mental adjustments, heart to heart. So we don't want to play mental gymnastics with Krishna. We just want to hear nicely and appeal heart to heart. My dear Lord, please, let me do something for you. Let me engage in your service. Please don't throw me away. Please let me be part of your family. And there's some nice prayers as well. Natural mood of the soul is to pray from the heart. Chanting, understanding, tears, mercy. Otherwise, it will take many lifetimes to get to Krishna. That's Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Chanting is like crying of the child for his or her mother, Srila Prabhupada. And types of prayers, please engage me in your seva. Please accept me. Please do not reject me. Oh, my friend, please pull my heart towards you. Please make me steady in my devotion. Please may I develop taste for you. Please show me how to serve you, O Radha. Please steal my mind by your sweetness. Oh, steal my heart by your sweetness. O Radha, please make me qualified to serve you. So sometimes we might even think of service while we're chanting. Japa is not meant to think of service. Just focus on the relationship with Krishna. When we're chanting japa, just thinking about Krishna. If we're planning a service or planning our day, then where is the conversation with Krishna? There's no conversation. There's no prayer. Japa is a plea for seva. After lifetimes of Maya service, we are begging for his service. And the mind, like Prabhupada said, the mind is very strong, dangerous. Mind is extremely strong. Bhagavad Gita 6:34. Arjun says to Krishna, Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna. Mind is flickering, very strong. And the mind always lives in the past or in the future. It never lives in the present, right? We're always lamenting what we lost in the past, and we're always worried about the future. But it's possible to control the mind. Krishna says to Arjuna, you can do it by practice, like Prabhupada said, bring it back, and detachment. Detachment means we not want to worry about anything else. We're just going to chant. We're going to be detached from everything else. And Prabhupada says, where's the question of the mind? We're talking about the tongue and the heart. Bypass the mind by chanting with the heart. You have to be out of your mind to chant. Take the mind out of the equation, then it's easier. I like this cartoon. But why meditation? Couldn't you steal cars like the other kids? This poor devotee. So just an idea of how long it takes to chant. Usually 2 hours is more than enough to chant 16 rounds. If we're too slow, then it's a little indication that the mind is being distracted. If we're too fast, then we're not listening properly. And by chanting 16 rounds, we're chanting at least 25,000 holy names every day. By chanting 64 rounds, it's 100,000, 1 lakh. It is recommended by Bhaktivinoda Thakur that on Ekadashi one should increase one's chanting to the best of one's ability, because such auspicious days are the mothers of devotion. So tomorrow is Ekadashi, and it's a very nice if we can chant more tomorrow. And we can also write to the holy name. The holy name is my savior because he allows me to connect with Krishna. The holy name is my best friend because he's always with me, guiding me, protecting me, like that. So that way we develop a relationship with the holy name. Thanks. That's me too much. O tongue, please constantly chant the mantra composed of Krishna's names. This is the only mantra for destroying all enemies. The mantra worshipped by every word of the Upanishads, the mantra that uproots samsara, the mantra that drives away all darkness of ignorance, the mantra for attaining infinite opulence, the mantra for curing those bitten by poisonous snake of worldly distress, and the mantra for making one's birth in this world successful. So we're appealing to the mind, to the tongue, chant Krishna's names. How to stay awake during japa? If we fall asleep during japa, that's a really bad sign, actually. It means we really got no connection with Krishna. We're not seeing the exciting opportunity he's given us of chanting his holy names. Chant Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. To avoid any offenses. Confide in the holy name. You can confide in the holy name, all of distress, but not doing japa. That can be another time. Without the mercy, there can be no advancement. And without effort, there's no mercy. So we have to make an effort. If we make an effort by showing Krishna we're serious, the mercy will flow. And try to avoid these bad japa days, because we lose momentum when that happens. Chanting and reading Bhagavatam is a cure for insomnia. And Maha Prasada Govinda is a mantra which cures sleep. What are Ram's qualities? His name is extraordinarily powerful. Shiva's glorification. Shiva glorifies Ram's name. He says if you chant 3 times Ram's name, it's like chanting 1,000 names of Vishnu. And we saw Ram's name on the stones when they were building the bridge to Lanka. The stone stayed afloat. Even Ram put a stone on the river, on the ocean, but it sank, showing that the name of Ram is more powerful than Ram himself. I can't remember this now. Nathan was initiated by Narad as Valmiki. Yeah. Ratnakar was so sinful. Narad said to him, chant the name of Ram. He couldn't do it. He couldn't pronounce it. So then Narad said to him, okay, chant Mara, 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 Ram, 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 Ram. Then Valmiki got it. Can't remember this argument between Vishishta and Vishwamitra. So even somebody may speak what might be like haram, for example, spoken by a Muslim. Haram means something horrible. But because hara is there, or haram is there, that is actually a holy name. Shiva explains to Parvati, at Kashi, when somebody dies, they are liberated. So many people go there to die. Lord Shiva explains that because he's always chants the name of Ram, and Vayu spreads the name everywhere in Kashi, people are liberated. Ganesh is worshipped first before any auspicious activity because he won the race amongst the demigods by circumambulating Ram's name 3 times. And they never have a fight as a family. We did this before. Shiva has the bull. Oh no, yeah, Nandi. What's his name?
Parvati as a lion.
Parvati is a lion. How can lion and bull get on?
Kartikeya has a peacock.
Kartika has a peacock.
And Ganesh has a mouse.
And Ganesh has a mouse. But also there's a snake. Who has a snake? Shiva.
Shiva has a snake.
So the peacocks eat the snakes and the snakes eat the rats. But they never have a fight because of they're always chanting the name of Ram. Okay. So I wanted to stop there. Any questions, any comments? Anybody like to share their experiences of chanting? I always like to hear Sitaram. Sitaram, Prabhu, yes, go for it.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna to everyone. When we chant holy names, Prabhu, we get so pleasure. When we get this pleasure, we chant more. As tomorrow is Ekadashi. On Ekadashi, we used to chant minimum 25 rounds. But sometimes it happens, it's so good that we continue chanting. It goes up to 30 rounds, Prabhu. It is like this. Devotional practice is so good. We have, as you said, Krishna is with us. Okay, he enhances us to chant him so nicely. Okay, Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for expressing. I like to hear that because it just gives good confirmation. It's very nice. Thank you. Anybody else like to share their experiences? Ram, Dulara, Lokeshwar, Mr. Saha, Kaushalya. Yes.
Learned a lot, Prabhuji, learned a lot today for chanting Hare Krishna mantra.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for explaining it so nicely.
No, sorry. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I have to try more. I have to try my more best.
Yeah, we all of us.
Yeah, we all have to.
Yeah,
it's very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mr. Saha, yes.
Yeah, not all the time, very rare time it's happened. Sometimes chanting, but like sleeping. like sleeping, but maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes after, but when woke up, but I feel I am chanting, continue chanting. What
Very
happened that?
good.
Why is happening? How it is happening?
Very good, very good, very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Mahamantra ki jai.
Jai.
Krishna.